It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Okay guys, everyone be aware, the car's ready to go. Understood, stopping this lap. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. Okay, the McLaren driver's ahead of you. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Right, their best lap time, 1:12.8. Behind is Carlos.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Surfer Girl lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Tsunoda, Max Verstappen and Russell, Ocon, Antonelli, Bortoletto and Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Ollie Behrman and Jackson, Norris, Lawson, Nico Hulkenberg and Callie Mayer, Michael Schumacher, Gasly, Doohan and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Interlagos, always one of my favourite weekends of the season. Love Brazil, adore this track.
Absolutely spot on, Crofty. I wish you could pick this circuit up and place it, copy-pasted on multiple different locations around the planet, because it is sensational to watch, sensational to drive, and for all these drivers here in Brazil, it's a great time to get stuck into this Interlagos circuit. It's an anti-clockwise track, lots of important corners to get right, and it's a track where you can make or lose an awful lot of lap time.
The formation lap gets underway ahead of today's sprint. It's going to be interesting to see who gets pole position. We're almost ready to start the sprint as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment, just be careful. now available. Body's taken a little damage, just watch out for it. You need to give that place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal overtake. Leclerc is behind you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Okay, the car behind has front wing damage. This is our opportunity. And the time last lap, 1 minute 18.8. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix. It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Okay, engines fired up, we're set. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. will receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, that's Bearman ahead. Okay, so their best lap time, 1:12.9. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track. Ahead. Okay, so their best lap so far, 1:13.0. We've dropped to P11. Lawson is just ahead. Come on, let's push. Right, their best lap, 1:13.0. Right, their best lap time, 1:12.9. So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes. Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. lap of fuel remaining.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Surfer Girl completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Michael Schumacher, Charles Leclerc and Russell, Jackson, Stroll, Mayer and Carlos Sainz, Behrman, Lawson, Esteban Ocon and Antonelli, Piastri, Gasly, Nico Hülkenberg and Lando Norris, Albon, Bortoletto, Hadjar and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. Interlagos, always one of my favourite weekends of the season. Love Brazil, adore this track.
Absolutely spot on, Crofty. I wish you could pick this circuit up and place it, copy-pasted on multiple different locations around the planet, because it is sensational to watch, sensational to drive, and for all these drivers here in Brazil, it's a great time to get stuck into this Interlagos circuit. It's an anti-clockwise track, lots of important corners to get right, and it's a track where you can make or lose an awful lot of lap time.
qualification lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can, and they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
To your teammate behind, 2.1 seconds. They're all fresh softs. They're sitting in 7th. Okay, DRS is now available. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.0 seconds. concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Seeing a lot of tyre deg now. We've got a new strategy if you want to take a look at it. Understood, copy that. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, mate, elbows out is great, but not that way. Come on, we can do better than that. Let's keep it clean, please. Sonoda behind. Time last lap, 1:14.3. They're all fresh softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Might see some rain, ETA about 15 minutes. As things stand, we're going to be leading the championship. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. And there are 18 laps of fuel remaining now. Box this lap and push hard on the in-lap. Carlos is in the pits. box, box. Great stuff. It looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race. Teammate behind, 38.6 seconds. Here's some information on Russell for you. They're retiring from the race. Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Okay mate, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 34.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're currently 6th. And the time last lap, 1 minute 15.2. push the tyres too hard, you're probably losing some grip at this point. Oh mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it. Okay, the car behind has newer tyres than you. Maintain the gap if possible. Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
It's Yuki Yahei! Yuki Tsunoda wins! What a day it's been for Formula One, and what a day it's been for these three drivers. Time for the podium celebrations. Time for our drivers to celebrate. What a victory for a very popular young man. Yuki Tsunoda takes the top step today. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.